Hello everybody, my name is Aud and welcome back to the Aud Narrations channel. The post we're reading today is titled, Wife Admitted It. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button, that way you won't miss the latest upload. Alrighty, let's make a start. Post reads, the other night, after coming home from a 3-day work trip, my wife admitted to me that she had been having an emotional affair for the last 7 months with a co-worker. Her and this co-worker work at different branches a couple states apart. They happened to meet at a company-wide event they both attended. Apparently there, he verbally sexually harassed her, and she told me as soon as she got home. She said she was disgusted by it and had never been spoken to that way. I was angry, not at her at all, and told her she should report him to HR. I told her the decision was hers to make, but it was my recommendation that if he had spoken to her like that, it was most likely not his first time making someone uncomfortable like that. She ultimately did not return him to HR because he's actually a pretty nice guy, / he has a family, / we were all drunk. Fast forward to 7 months later, and she confesses to me that they actually had been talking to one another the whole time, and she likes the guy and planned a work trip so she could go see him. However, according to her, he wasn't too excited to see her, so that's why she told me. I clarified by asking, what if he had been excited to see you? Would you have told me? And she said, no. I think this is a case closed already, OP. Fucking hell. She tells me they were never physical, and she sent him pictures. Fucking overright. She tells me that they were never physical, and she sent him pictures that she didn't send to me, but they were fully clothed pictures. I'm struggling. I don't know what to do and I feel numb. This is a nice anonymous outlet because I'm not currently sharing this with anyone we know. I'm embarrassed, hurt, and ashamed, and I feel like sharing it with my friends and family would only further those negative feelings. Ultimately, I feel like I'm the second choice to her because he rejected her. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's definitely how I feel. Thanks for reading. Sorry it's kind of long, but it's a condensed version anyway. Yeah, OP, like this is definitely not everything that they've said and done. Been continuing conversation with this man and was planning on taking it further behind your back. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Someone left a comment saying, like the crew of the Titanic, you're only seeing the tip of this iceberg. To which OP replied saying, I feel that way at times. Someone replied to OP saying, leave man, she's leaving so much out. This is only the beginning of the trickle truth. To which someone followed up with, she's giving you trickle truth. He pursued her, and when he got her away from you, work event, he caught her, not emotionally. He got physical, she just didn't admit that yet. She enjoys the attention, and it made her feel pretty, young, desirable. It was exciting, romantic, hot. Her behavior is so typical as to be stereotypical. She gets excited and hot from her secret lover and goes home to her good provider to raise kids. Good luck. You'll need it. Someone replied to that, saying, it's also possible that the co-worker got rough with her during sex in a way that she found degrading, so she shortened it to him saying grossly inappropriate stuff to her. The fact that she amended her stories says more happened than she told OP. At any rate, OP needs to talk to a divorce attorney and get that ball rolling. 100%. Someone else has left a comment, saying, here is likely what really happened. She went on a work trip to screw him, and they did the deed, and either A, they got caught by a colleague, B, had a massive falling out over something, so it's become public knowledge to their company, C, AP's wife caught him and is going to tell you. Either way, something big has happened that she knows will get back to you somehow. So she's getting out in front of this before you find out from a third party. This is all her doing damage control. The relationship is done, mate. Without serious work from both of you, seems like she has checked out long ago. I'd be kicking her to the curb and looking to start divorce proceedings. That's how you deal with this. Don't be her backup. Someone else left a comment saying, bingo, 100%. This confession reeks of her having no choice but to get ahead of the story. Otherwise, there's no reason for this disclosure. It benefits the wayward spouse in no way and brings about all kinds of problems. But that's the lesser of two evils. Wait until someone reaches out and paints an entirely different picture. 1000%. Someone else left a comment saying, zero remorse from her. Only guilty to clear her overinflated ego. If it were me here, this is what I would say. I think we need to separate for some time. I'd like you to leave the house and go wherever at this point. If you have children, I would tell her you can pack a bag, and when the kids ask where you're going, I expect you to let them know that we're separating and let them know it's because of the decisions you made to hurt me. Nothing else needs to be said beyond this. If she starts crying, begging, and you say, you should have thought about that before you started enjoying another man's company. You get to own this. If you go to your parents, tell them why you're there, because if they call me, I'll let them know. This is non-negotiable to me. You need a couple of weeks away. During this time, I would hire an attorney and file for divorce. She's not remorseful. You don't reconcile with someone who is not. I would have her served at her parents' house or wherever she is at. When she begs and pleads, ask her where this was at when she did it. Say right now in this moment, I want you to find his wife's information and call her and tell her what you did with him. Then, after you do this, I want to see all the text messages. If you deleted them, I will assume you've had sex with him, and we're done. If she says you don't believe me, say no, our entire relationship is now built on lies. You had choices and decisions to make, and you chose this, so enjoy the consequences. Until she's showing true remorse, I would never even think about reconciling, going to marriage counselling or anything with someone who cheated. Understand the difference, OP, and don't do what so many men do and play the pick-me dance and fight for a relationship they stopped fighting for. 1000%. Someone else has left a comment saying, dude, she's lying to your face. She fabricated a story about a work trip to travel to see the man she's been having an emotional affair with for nearly half a year, and you don't think she hasn't fucked him. And you're accepting her word on that? After she just admitted lying to your face about him for the last 7 months? Please have some common sense. She has no regrets about the affair, and she willingly went to him knowing it would devastate you emotionally and likely end the marriage. She didn't care and did it anyway. She's been lying to you and using your love for her against you. She's been deliberately manipulating you to carry on her affair. Stop being naive. Take matters into your own hands. Reclaim your agency and tell her it's over and she needs to leave and that you'll be divorcing. And then go full public telling all family and friends that she cheated on you with him. And then tell her HR department and tell his wife. Someone replied saying, this is fresh. There's consequences if I do that stuff, including to others I love and have to provide for and protect. Someone replied saying, you didn't do anything at all. She threw her whole marriage in the toilet for some panty tingles. I'm sorry, but she's a dud of a human, a bad person. I wouldn't want my kids around anyone like her. She needs to have some accountability for by being exposed and kicked to the curb. People really need to learn to temper their baser instincts. Someone replied to OP as well, saying, she's such a narcissistic abuser that you cannot leave her alone with the kids. Perhaps divorce in your area would bankrupt you or cause homelessness. I understand there are, in fact, many reasons to stay with a cheater, but my cave-out would be only if your marriage is no longer closed and monogamous. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? If you have to stay together for as long as Vinegar Tits will have you, for the continued service for your kids and your housing security, fine, with conditions. But I would not yet walk away yet. So help me Jesus. My picture would be on the Hall of Fame in every house, outhouse, and shithouse within a 100-mile radius of my house, and I wouldn't hide my indiscretions. If she checked up on my location, I would have all my favorites pinned with comments like work function or work wife, but something tells me I don't think she'll be checking up on you if you provide her with a safe space. You get the drift, right? Now you're co-parents. If you can't leave, can you move? Don't sleep with her or stay in the same room with her. Be secretive and sneaky and start boiling her piss. Control the narrative. Tell the kids you can't sleep because mum snores and grinds her teeth and yells co-workers in her sleep. You have to move to another room. If you're staying, sell it like you work for Vince McMahon. Start separating from her at home. Hit the gym, jogging, walking, hiking, riding, do anything to get out of the house. More at night, and as for the weekends, dude, that would be my time to age appropriately party with the kids and family like I wasn't coming back on Monday. If you're a night owl, go out after you put the kids to bed. When everyone asks, hey dude, where's Vinegar Tits? I would say, oh, her job is crazy right now. I'd talk her up, saying I reckon she's up for a promotion. You know, last week she spent 4 hours gathering traffic information on Google. She reckons she can get to work 30 minutes faster. If you're staying, sell it. This is long and slightly rogue. As friends and family send messages to her to find a new job or grats on the job, don't forget about us when you're on the cover of Forbes, lols, because at this point, covering for her is also covering for you. Over the decades, I've come to the slightly possibly perverted opinion that it's only cheating once you find out, and don't do anything about it for yourself. You have endless options. Divorce. End of story. Lots of pain spread in every direction. I was in this camp for the last 50 years. Cheat on me and I'm gone. But now we have a little property portfolio and a not too shabby self-managed super fund. Would I really piss away millions of dollars in a divorce? Or would I just adjust things a little bit on my end? Answer, I've worked too fucking hard for half a century now to allow my empire and my kids' inheritance to be blitzed in a divorce. Ned Flanders, you can try and hash this out and want for a better option. You can try and hash this out and for want of a better option, and the word reconcile, be like every other guy in here 10, 20, 30 years out of reconciliation who wish they'd left their cheating wife. That's not me. I don't think that's you either. I've never seen this work because there's always a winner, the cheater, and a loser, the spouse. It eats the loser up from inside out. Don't ask, don't tell. I would / you could try this. Again, I wouldn't sleep with her or be in her space. Tell her you're happy to stay for the kids and split the load 50-50, but you're both free to pursue any and all opportunities and are married while dating. The rules are no bringing partners into the kids' home. A happy and loving household full of respect, praise and learning, and work ethic, it's essential for kids to see the grind. You might even agree to kiss and cuddle in front of the kids with some age-appropriate nastiness. Sell that shit while your kids are looking. How can you work this hard, be so hot, and be such a good wife and mum? You're lucky the kids are watching. I don't know what I did in the past life to deserve you, blah 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 blah. And off camera, the consequences will be divorce if she crosses the agreed boundaries. Post-nups. Anybody? It's teamwork that makes the dream work. If you read r/adultery for long enough, you'll see posts about how and when they are in an affair, their innocent, unknowing, unconsenting spouse and kids all reckon they are so much better to be around and more upbeat and project good vibes, because their cheating somehow takes the pressure off their relationship. My point is, now you know, you have many options, none of which are locked in, as there are couples who divorced, then hook back up and even remarry years later. We're here for a short time, why not make it a good time? Unless she's an absolute asshat. Conditions apply, check the fine for details. I think fine print for details. Yeah, indeed. Bit of a rogue comment there, to be quite honest, but I guess it's just someone venting in a way. Someone else left a comment saying, you're being trickle truth. Fact is that if he hadn't called this off, she would still be having an emotional affair, and most likely a physical affair with him. She's protected him from HR, had inappropriate conversations, and planned a work trip to a hotel to be with him. Most likely they had sex. Something didn't go planned afterwards, and now she's trying to ease her way back out. Don't be the second choice or backup plan. There will always be another guy. OP replied, saying, I don't feel like I'm getting the whole story. 1000%. Someone replied to OP, saying, you need to see the messages and photos. And to be honest, as long as she's employed at that same company where their communication paths are easy to hide from you. What if he had been excited to see you, which you've told me, they quote. She said no. To me, this is telling. He called it off and stopped it, at least temporarily, and if he had not, your wife would have been down to continue keeping this a secret. And there is only one reason to keep it a secret. She knows it's wrong and knows it would hurt you, and she's willing to do it anyway. I would actually go one step beyond that. It's not that she knows it's wrong and knows it would hurt you, it's that it would affect her if you found out. Right. I think the comments from earlier on absolutely nail that point, which is she only admitted it because something worse is coming down the pipeline for her with larger consequences, which will be you find out the real story from someone. Someone replied to that comment saying, that comment is the nail on the coffin for me. I appreciate the honesty, but there's no coming back from that. Someone else left a comment saying, get a lawyer, do everything your lawyer says to do. At least get your options from the lawyer. Now that you know she's all about trading up from you, you need to leave. Don't listen to what she says. Pay attention to what she does. I love you. What does that mean? What? The word love is coming out of your mouth. What are you doing to prove that to me? Trading up constantly? You actually don't love me, right? You just want to stay in a nice, safe place with me. Plan B. Why don't we both try and fulfill our lives now? I'll find a woman who really loves me, and you can trade up from me. Okay. Someone else left a comment saying, look up trickle truth, and I think you'll quickly figure out that you're being lied to. She's telling you bits and pieces, and each time there's more. Next it'll be, there might have been nudes she sent, they kissed and so on. She lied to your face for months. Why do you think she's suddenly being honest? Personally, I think the confession is to get ahead of the narrative. They've been found out, and the risk of it getting back to you is real, so she's getting ahead of it and downplaying it as much as possible. Indeed. Seen it time and time again on these subs, and I feel bad for you. The likelihood that this was a full-blown emotional and physical affair is what you should assume, and it's on her to prove otherwise. Ask her to show you the chat history with him, no doubt conveniently deleted, and see what she says. Point is, don't believe anything she says, as she's proven to you that she's an excellent liar. Separate from her for a while and clear your head before you decide anything. Think back, such a memory for other red flags that I'm sure were there, but you were too trusting to see, is usually the case with betrayed spouses. At this point, put your own health and sanity first, and take some time to see her for who she is. Remorseless, lying, selfish person. Trust is shattered, vows likely broken, and she admitted that she would have never told you had they consummated the relationship, which I very much doubt they didn't. This begs the question, why confess now? Good luck. There's a saying, I don't know if it's crossed the pond into America, but the saying goes, you can't see the woods from the trees, which is basically saying when you're in the middle of something, it's quite hard to get a good look at it. And to be honest, I think this comment here really points that out. Someone replied saying, here's the quick and dirty on trickle truthing. Cheaters never admit the truth of their infidelity unless confronted by irrefutable proof. They'll lie and deny straight to your face until you show evidence that they're lying. Even then, they'll only admit half-truths and reveal the bare minimum of what they've done to explain away the evidence. It's just their nature. So at first it'll be, they're just a friend, then we only chatted, and then, yes, maybe it was an emotional affair, but that's all. And then it'll be, okay, so we exchanged nudes and spicy videos, but it was just sexting fantasy and never got physical or real. And then they'll admit to kissing or making out, but that's as far as it got. And finally, after all that lying, they'll finally admit, okay, we had sex, but it was only once or twice. Meanwhile, you know they've been fucking for 6 months or more. That's what cheaters do. It sucks. But now you know the levels of deception. You know about step 2, she's admitted to just an emotional affair and sending pics and videos, but you know she travelled to meet him, so obviously they've been physical. But she'll continue to lie and downplay her conduct. It's what every cheater does. What a bombshell to finish on. Right. Tricky situation. What do you think OP should do? What would you do in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you won't miss the latest upload. Alrighty. We'll have to finish there. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.